We're live now.
What up, y'all? We gonna come back real quick. We back to the live. We got cut off for the live for that earlier Harry Mack thing that we did where we cut it off and said we gonna do something different. Apparently YouTube finally caught up to that and cut us off in the middle of the Ren thing. We gonna come back after when Queeks come back and give our final thoughts for that Ren joint. Hey, look, y'all was right. That was deep. That was a lot. He had a whole message at the end. I said some super extra dope, crazy, introspective. Let y'all know that I don't just be on here always intoxicated all the time stuff. And now Tyler talking about I gotta repeat it when we come back. Man, you better use that clip that we just. But that's what happened. That's why we end up getting cut off. I know, right? Shout out to you, Drop. It was for no reason at all. We was so past that. We decided not to use it, and I'm sure Queese called it before 7 seconds. So why would they even give us a copyright? You know?
That's why y'all gotta be careful with some of them requests, bro. Cause YouTube be tripping. You can't just request. You know, you gotta be a little smooth with them requests.
Yeah, they was tripping, and like we could do that one day on the regular thing. It ain't about. It's not like we always wanted it to be something we can make money off of. If the copyright is something y'all will enjoy and it'll get engagement and the audience will enjoy it, it ain't about like, oh, it can't be copyright. But for the live, we just got to pay a little bit more attention and be a little bit more cautious. So because we don't want this to be happening. So that's why on the live we would not do it. But we'll probably still end up doing that Harry Mack once on a regular video or whatever, and just not take the money from it. So
yeah, we try to be conscious of it, but like I said, when y'all put the suggestions in, we actually don't listen. So like, soon as it came on, I tried to catch it because I'm like, oh no, we can't do that. They gonna try to chop us down with that, but they still chopped us down. But it's all good, man. We still gonna have that reaction for y'all. It'll still go up on the channel. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the regular form of it and everything, but. Yeah, YouTube, you know. We try to be guideline gangs, y'all, but I try to catch it early, but, you know, we couldn't catch it soon enough.
Shout out to Naughty Bear Review back, too. All right, let's get into this last message from Ren, and I'll try to remember, because you was right. I did not want to be disrespectful and say that. Yeah. So let's get to this last message from Ren, and then we'll try to remember what I just...
Oh yeah, drop. Well, I think you know what we gonna do, y'all. We gonna get back into it right now. But I think when we give y'all the actual version of this, we might keep the stuff that got chopped off of the live because y'all get to hear how we actually thought right then and there, and it's all gonna be the same. It's gonna be close to the same. I might not even try to explain as much because I just explained it, but we gonna keep that stuff so y'all can actually hear like our real reactions. But we gonna get back to it so y'all can finish watching us watch the reaction. Though.
Yeah, y'all will see the actual reaction. We got all the footage and stuff. It's just the YouTube live cut off, so we definitely still got everything recorded
for sure.
But all right.
All right, so for the sake of continuity and giving folks a few minutes here to pile in, I'm going to go back to right when he got up from the chair.
Yeah.
And so we're about like 5 minutes in or so on the video.
Okay.
You know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as Hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that make to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different sides.
See his voice projection?
Cower at the man I've become is a great line. Especially if you're talking to yourself. Like, you cower.
Inner thoughts.
You telling yourself you cower at the man I've become. Because, like, I'm a better version of myself. Anyways, my bad. I'm
Chef
sorry.
Be tripping. I just noticed this. He's gonna say quiz is a word. I want to give you a hug, bro. Chef be wild. Shout out to my boy Chef B West. No, but let's get back to Harry Mack. Chef be tripping.
said when the stream went down, Liquor and Woe said, "This Craig's me off." Anyways, let's finish. Let's get to this last message because we got to give it to the people. We heard it already, but let's give it to them. I shouldn't have went back up in the chat. I'm sorry.
Look at Woe, it's crazy.
I used to always want to play the guitar. I'm so jealous. He can rap and play the guitar.
He's a musician.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences. With autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare. But there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
Like, I love the way people can put stuff into perspective sometimes, and a lot of things can mean the same thing. And sometimes I just love that aspect of life. And what he just described right there ain't nothing. That's life. That's what life is. Because he's right. If you try to figure out a way to constantly not be this way, but be this way, then it could drive you kind of in the state of instability. But once you realize that it is just a continuous pendulum of sometimes it's going to be happy, sometimes it's going to be dark, but it's never going to stay either way. And you figure out how to live in that balance. I think that's one of the most prolific, even in things in life. And without even, whether you go through some of that stuff or you don't go through that, what he just said can make so much sense to everybody if you really wanted to listen.
I think as somebody who recently going through those same exact thoughts, I think that's absolutely right. And I think sometimes you can get so tilted that you forget it'll eventually balance out. Because where I was at mentally, I forgot it could balance out. I was so deep over here, I wasn't thinking about the balance of life. You just kind of lose that. So that's why I said, as artistically, him trying to get those thoughts out, the whole song was him basically saying, it's kind of unbalanced. Part of me this, part of me that, but it's not balancing. I don't really know which side to go, but at the end, he reeled it in together enough for this side to outbalance this side. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you're going through certain mental issues and stuff, at some point it's a bad balance. And if you get through it enough, you will eventually balance it out to a good place. And I think at the end of his song, he just basically was balancing it out to a positive place versus the dark place he was at in the song where he was trying to figure out how he felt and he didn't know, because I'm questioning myself. I'm questioning if I'm good enough. I'm questioning everything. And by the end, he basically was like, yo, I understand who I am. I'm not going to question that. And I'm just going to be in that space.
Hey, man. Shout out to Ren, man. And I'm looking forward to hearing more music from him. I enjoy this type of music as I don't even want to just blame it on Eminem, but as a kid growing up in high school and coming up in hip hop, I should say. And when Eminem came out and exploring that aspect of music, which led me to a Joe Budden, which led me to, we can talk about that stuff and we can, I actually enjoy this type of stuff when you can use your artistic creation and your artistic form to not only heal but teach too, and just use as a vent to get out and event stuff. So I enjoy this type of music. I like it. And I'm looking forward to hearing more.
And to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to do it. Because I think artistically, you have thoughts where sometimes you're going through stuff, but it's like, do I really want to write about that? But sometimes them emotions and feelings, they so overwhelming.
That's the stuff that's going to connect.
And it's like when I put this project out, bro, like I say, it's very different music than I typically make. But it's like, I just hope like it's people that can connect to the way I felt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, it's not going to be like a bunch of songs with me just trying to go punchline crazy or nothing like that, like you might typically get. It's literally me talking about how I've been feeling for these last, like, maybe like year, bro. And it's a bunch of those feelings and thoughts out. And it's like, when I put it out, I hope people can relate to it much more than be like, oh, he can rap. Like, I know I can rap. I know I can come up with a punchline, but I hope you can relate to
rap.
the feelings.
But do you feel me though?
Do you feel me? Shout out for real. Shout out to my boy Rich Poe, because he always say I want to put an album where I just talk about all this stuff I feel, and I feel like this gonna be my project where it's just like a lot of stuff I was feeling and going through. But appreciate y'all for coming through, tapping in, hit the like button, put somebody on. It's being boy Disrespect Collective. I'm your boy Queese, aka Dash, with my man's
Craig Smith, aka Sensei of Life.
And shout out to my boy Tyler behind the scenes, Radio 22, everything 22. And we'll get at y'all later. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. You know what I'm saying? I know we got strike down. And you know we got strike down for y'all. It was the boy Harry Mack. I tried to catch that a Millie joint quick, bro. And
shout out to you for that, because I wouldn't have called it. I would have just let everything go and fly. Yeah. And to the real ones who stuck it through and came back when we went back up to end this.
Shout out to the real
just
ones.
as last. Shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah.
It's been fun, man. I look forward to chopping it up with y'all next week, laughing with y'all next week, getting roasted by y'all next week. Man, I can't tell y'all how much I love and appreciate y'all. Look, man. Look, I'm done. Y'all gonna make me cry. I'm out of here. Appreciate y'all.
We out.
All right, now wait. Before you take those off. So one thing I want to point out, it was said in the comments in the last one, I said we would go back to the comments. Obviously, I don't have all the comments that were there. But one of them specifically mentioned the shadows that were on the ground. You know how they had the lights flickering?
Yeah.
The shadows corresponded with the lights too, and you could see different sides.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all. Let's go back to one real quick.
Hold on.
We'll wrap the video up. We're going to go back to it because I ain't see the shadow. I ain't pay that no mind.
So y'all see the shadows on the floor, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, so watch as they flicker.
Just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names.
Hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, because the flickering I feel like it was before that.
Yeah, the flickering was early.
When it was before that, because when he stood up, that's when he started getting towards the end. But they were saying the flickering was corresponding, like the shadows on the ground was going left and right.
It was going with the good and the bad sides, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Rat.
Okay,
I
look,
see that though,
I
too.
can say I don't want to cause no issues with YouTube, but I can feel him doing that because artistically, it's like everything was well thought out in the video. So I could totally see like him getting to a point to where
you know why I don't put that past him, because NF did that thing with the shopping cart and the balloons or whatever in there, and then somebody had to hit us up and tell us that was him dragging his depressions and stuff in the cart, and he couldn't let it go, and it was with him all the time. In my head, I'm like, I never would have thought of that. All these subtleties, and I never would have thought of that. So shout out to y'all for whoever peeped that. I'm sure that he did it. I'm sure that it happened. When I go back and watch this on the rewatch, now I'm going to be paying attention, and I'm going to catch it then. But look, appreciate y'all for listening. This has been another episode of Great and Scale Reacts. Shout out to Ren. Shout out to Ren's community. And shout out to Harry Mack. Shout out most importantly to everybody that was in the live this week, man. We gonna holler at y'all next week. We will be back. I am one half of the Disrespectful Collective. Craig Smith, aka Sense of Life, here with.
It's your boy Queese, aka Dash. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Hit the like button. Put somebody on who will put somebody on. And we get at y'all next Monday. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Y'all know what it is, man. We be kicking it, sipping, and tripping on Monday nights, bro. Make this a part of y'all nights, bro. We be kicking it with y'all, man. So come through, tap in with your boys, man. Shout out to my boy Tyler behind the scenes. Reddit 22, everything 22. We get at y'all later. T the GOAT. We out of here. Dizzle.